Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with the pursuit of Oriol Romeu, as it has been reported that his club Girona are angry with Barcelona over contacting the player. This can't be possible. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about Franck Kessie, who have been linked to an exit for a long time, as it has been reported that the Barca midfielder is seen as Plan B by Al Nash if Brozovic moves fails. Contacts are already being made. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. As Barcelona stepped up their pursuit of Oriol Romeu, the midfielders club Girona have become angry with the La Liga champions over their approach for the 31-year-old. This claim comes from Sport, who report that Girona are upset with the way Barca manager Xavi Hernandez has called and spoken with Romeu, even though the player is not a free agent and is very much under contract. The message coming through from the Montelivi regarding Xavi and Barca's approach is, we know that Xavi has called our player and Oriol Romeu is not free. He has a contract with us until 2025, so we would say that this cannot be possible, they said. Furthermore, Girona go on to add that it would have been better if Barcelona had made contact with them first, given that the two clubs are in good working relationship. Romeu joined Girona only last summer, but enjoyed a fine debut campaign with the La Liga club, becoming one of the team's most key players. It thought it caught the attention of his former club Barcelona, who have been fast running out of targets in the market for the pivot position. Indeed, with moves for Martin Zubimendi and Joshua Kimmich unfeasible and Marcelo Brozovic on the verge of joining Arnaus, the Catalans have been forced to look for alternatives, with Romeo the option that they have settled out. The 31-year-old, for his part, is excited about the possibility of rejoining his boyhood club. Girona are yet to receive any approach or communication from Barcelona about their interest in Romeo. They are not interested in selling the midfielder, and the only way the transfer would materialize if his release clause amount is paid in full. Of course, Barca have been strongly linked with Oriol Romeu in the last couple of days, as of course after missing out completely on Marcelo Brozovic, Romeu have remained Barca's top choice for that defensive midfield role. And of course, Girona are reportedly not happy about the way Barca have been going about their business with the player, saying that Barca have not even approached them first. Xavi goes ahead to call the player personally, and for them, they feel like they are being disrespected by such an approach from Barcelona, as they don't see it they don't see it as respect, despite the club being in good relationship business-wise. And of course, we can see the statement that Girona clearly wrote out that the way Barca have gone about this is not correct. And the fact that Oriol Romeu has a contract until 2025, he is still their player. He is still their player. And they don't see any reason why Barca should use that kind of approach. Had it been Barca could have contacted them first about the interest of the player, it is quite understandable. But of course, that does not relent Barca's efforts going for Oriol Romeu, who is being seen by the club as the top target for now. He's 31 years old. Even if he comes at Barca, it's not like he's a long-term solution to the Busquets replacement role, but rather than not having a replacement to Busquets, I think we should better have a player there. And of course, Oriol Romeu has been a player who have played in La Masia before, left there to England, where he played most of his career there, specifically at Southampton. Barcelona continue to have hopes of signing him. Now, Girona's own point of view is, if they want to successfully sign him, the only thing Barca needs to do is to pay the full release clause. They need to pay his release clause in full, because Girona are not they don't want to go into any negotiations with Barca, and they have made it even clear. And especially after the fact that they are angry with the way Barca are approaching the player, they don't even feel like they will go to any negotiation, except that they pay the release clause, then the player is willing to move to Barca. Then, of course, that is the only way Barca can take him. But Barca's own idea is they want to still go into negotiations, despite the player's release clause, relatively very affordable, you know. But Barca these days, we know that no matter what, they want to go they want to go for a player who is as cheap as possible, even if it is a 10 million euro release clause that he has in his contract. Barca want it to be something lower than that. It is already reported that the player is open to a Barca move despite having his contract at Girona till 2025. So even if Barca can pay that release clause, as far as the player's willingness is to join the club, then Girona can't do anything about it. So let's see what happens in the future, as Barcelona are trying to ensure that their pursuit for this guy does not, does not become like the other ones. That I think 4 players linked to the DM role have been lost, from Martin Zubimendi, Joshua Kimmich, Sofian Amrabat, and Marcelo Brozovic. All those top players that Barca were showing interest in have all been lost, and Xavi is trying to ensure that the club does not lose out this time on this target. Then moving on to the final story of discussion. Not very long ago, it appeared that Al Nassr were all set to beat Barca to the signing of Brozovic from Inter Milan. A 23 million euro transfer fee agreement was already in place, with Inter Milan very much after much negotiations. They had managed to meet and satisfy the players' demands as well. But just when it seemed like the transfer was imminent, reports earlier in Italy have suggested that the move have stalled as Al Nassr lowered their transfer fee from 23 million to 15 million, which did not sit well with Inter Milan. Now the move is hanging in the balance, as it is reported in Italy that Al Nassr have identified Barca midfielder Franck Kessie as a possible plan B if they fail to close the Brozovic deal. The report even suggests that Saudi Arabian giants Al Nassr have already contacted the Ivorian midfielder's representatives. Franck Kessie has been linked with a summer exit from Barca just a year after his arrival. The club needs revenue from sales, and given that he is far from a regular starter and can fetch good money, Franck Kessie has been made available for transfer. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.